Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to a video. In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about some other things that have been on my mind lately. Just wanted to ramble a little bit about socialization and the importance of it, the importance of getting it in real life, in person. Talking with people and having conversations with people in person is very valuable, I think. And I think some bad things happen when you don't get enough of that, when you don't get enough of meaningful conversations with people in person. I think that people typically tend to malfunction psychologically. I've been spending a good amount of time in isolation, off and on, periodically. And I've spent a good amount of time in meditation, sitting with myself, sitting with my thoughts, and just kind of focusing on the breath and doing all sorts of mantras and breathing exercises. And I don't know why it's funny to me. I don't know. I don't talk about it very often. But there was a time where I was doing that a lot more. And I felt like I've been asked before if I'm autistic, mostly on the internet, but also once in real life, in person, to where they meant it. And I do feel like they do say it's a spectrum. They do say that there is an autistic spectrum, and I'm on it. I'm on it somewhere. I don't know where exactly, but I think it fluctuates. If I'm being honest, I think that there have been times in my life where I felt a little further on that spectrum than other times, and I think that meditation was one of the things that did sort of push me a little bit further on that little autistic spectrum. And I wanted to give a few thoughts on that as well. Like, so socialization and my isolation did contribute to being a little further on that spectrum. My lack of socialization for periods of time, and I spend a lot of time thinking about things. I spend a lot, I like thinking about things. I'm not saying I'm good at it, but I like doing it. I direct a lot of attention to thinking about things, and that's kind of autistic. That's one of the things that I feel like on the side of being maybe a little bit. 'Cause I've never been diagnosed or anything, but I do feel like there were times in my life there, if I would have gone and tried to get diagnosed for it, I would have been more likely to have been diagnosed at certain points versus other points. I don't feel that autistic this month. No, I'm just kidding. I don't feel that not neurotypical at the moment. Depends, though. Depends on what day you catch me on. I feel like, again, in particular, when it came to being more isolated and a lack of socialization and feeling very distant, very emotionally distant from other human beings, I sort of lost some of the. That's why I don't think that I am, because I do tend to be pretty good at picking up on social cues, and I do tend to be pretty good at signaling my own little social signals. Like, I do that. I think I do a pretty good job of that when I'm interacting with people. It really depends. Like, I'm able to stifle some of the more autistic tendencies when around certain people. What do you think? Do you think that I'm autistic so far? What would you diagnose me as? We're so quick to self-diagnose about stuff. Some people nowadays, I think. But lately I feel like I've been more of a performative person, more of a performative creature. I recently uploaded a video entitled "The Rigidity of Many Chronically Performative Creatures." And I do think that many people are very chronically performative, in the sense that they aren't even able to reflect on the fact that they're in a constant state of attempting to perform. Like, they're not conscious of the fact that they are not doing all that much more than just trying to play the social game. And I think that's one of the things that autistic people are. That's one of the things I like about certain manifestations, certain manifestations of autism in people. Their ability to set that shit aside, the socialize it, like the social cues stuff, and being concerned about the perception of people, and this, because that can really get in the way of creativity and being able to reflect, being able to actually consider big picture, full scope outcomes, cause and effect, genuinely considering cause and effect. I feel like many people talk about human behavior, human nature and stuff, and they're not actually really trying to get to the root of like what the certain things cause and other things prevent, and they're not doing that really. I think that it's many people are performative in the sense they're just saying the things that they've heard other people say, so they're not really thinking about as far as human beings and like how to best go about, like what are the best sort of policies to put in place to prevent bad things from happening, like rape and murder and other things. You got to take into account a lot of things if you're trying to do that, like the fact that we all come from wombs. Every single human being that you've ever met came from a womb. Those wombs are dangerous places because all sorts of people pop out, and you don't know what to do about that. How do you prevent the people from coming out of the wombs and committing all sorts of bad stuff? How do you do that most effectively?